हरिः ओम कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम् वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति पराङ्गतिं नमामि तं वरदाग्रजं तं पदाम्बुजं यस्य पवित्रकीर्तेः मनांसि वा शीलयति श्रुतीनां वचांसि वा मत्कुलसंभवानः। नमः सभायै। मार्गशीर्ष मास का प्रथम दिन में रामायण कथा, पूर्व कथा संग्रहश्च। राम तो 12 वर्ष आफ्टर मैरिज, विवाह के बाद 12 वर्ष अयोध्या में सुख जीवन माँ सीता के साथ कर रहा है। एक दिन पुनर्वसु नक्षत्र का दिन महीपति दशरथ ने राम को यव्वराज्य पट्टाभिषेक करने के लिए बड़ी सभा बुलाकर उन्होंने निश्चय किया कल तो उसका यव्वराज्य पट्टाभिषेक का मुहूर्त होगा। पुष्य नक्षत्र के दिन में उसका यव्वराज्य पट्टाभिषेक होगा। वेयर आर वी? वी आर इन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डे टुडे। धनुर्मास या चाप मास या मार्गढ़ी मंथ का प्रथम दिन। आज का नक्षत्र तो श्रवण नक्षत्र, राम का नक्षत्र, नारायण जी का नक्षत्र। श्रोणा नक्षत्रम विष्णुर्देवता। आज तो पवित्र है। मासानाम मार्गशीर्षोऽहं ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम्। मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहं ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः। मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहं, कृष्ण का वाक्य। गीता में 10वें अध्याय में कृष्ण बोलता है मास में हम तो मार्गशीर मास है। छंदस में गायत्री, धनुर पहने वाले को हम तो राम है। सो वी आर ऑन द ऑस्पिशियस डे ऑफ मार्गशी और मार्गशीर्ष और धनुर्मास। धनुर्मास तो स्कांद पुराण में स्वयं विष्णु जी ब्रह्मा जी के से कहता है इस मंथ में आप सभी लोग मुझे प्रणाम कीजिए, प्रातः काल में मुझे प्रणाम कीजिए। ये तो हरि का मास है, हरि का मंत्र है। सो भागवत में, इस गोष्ठी में, भागवत का इतना बहुत विद्वत गोष्ठी है। हम आप सभी लोग पढ़े होंगे। भागवत में 10वें स्कंद में रास क्रीड़ा अध्याय में आता है कात्यायनी महामाये महायोगिन्यधीश्वरी नंदगोपसुतं देवी पतिं मे कुरुते नमः इति मंत्रं जपत्यस्ताः पूजां चक्रुः कुमारिकाः एवं मासं व्रतं चेरुः कुमार्य कृष्णचेतसः भद्रकालीं समानर्चुः भूयान्नन्दसुतः पतिः ऊषस्य उषस्वुत्ताय गोत्रैः स्वैः अन्योन्यबद्धभावः उषस्वुत्ताय। सो गोपिकाओं, सभी गोपिक लोग, ऑल द गोपीज इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्गशी, इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्गशीर्ष, मार्गानाम शीर्ष है। इस भक्ति मास में उषसी उत्ताय, सभी बद्ध जीवन, सभी बांध कर, सभी गोष्ठी कर कर कृष्णम उच्चैर जगुर्युः कालिंद्याम स्थातु मनवहम। सभी कृष्ण नाम जप के कालिंदी तट पे जाते हैं। सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मंथ। इन दिस मंथ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट Rama and Sita paying obeisance to Lord Narayana. So it's a perfect month. We have had a hiatus for so many reasons because there were a lot of activities in the temple. So we had to pause for a while, but we are beginning in the month of Margari, in the month of Margasirsha, because evam masam vratam cheruhu kumarya krishnate tataha. By having in the manas Krishna ka naam, so we are going to have in our manas Ram ka naam, Krishna ka naam. So where are we? So Purvakata. So Dasaratha ne निश्चय किया ये तो मेरा प्रथम पुत्र को यौवराज्य बनूंगा. Then he says, he calls Rama twice. First he calls Rama in the Badi Sabha and says that I have decided you to make you as a Yuvaraja. Not only this is my decision, all the mantris and all the people, whether they live in the city or they live in the village, have agreed that you should be a Yuvaraj. Then he sends Rama back. Within few minutes, he again sends Sumantara to Rama's palace, Antapura, and then he says, Rama, you come because your father is calling you again. So Rama comes back again, and then he says, tomorrow I have decided to crown you as a crown prince because Chalahi Praninam Matihi. So we stopped at this place. Ayodhya Gand mein, we have gone up to 4th Sarga, where Dasaratha in 5 slokas gives intimate advice to Rama. There he says, Chalahi Praninam Matihi. Hey Ram, understand that we have Chanchala Buddhi. We don't know what will happen. I know that Bharata is a very obedient, very lovable brother to you, but we don't know. So something sparked in Dasaratha. Even though we call Janaka to be Raja Rishi, Valmiki also refers Dasaratha to be Raja Rishi because he senses something. Chalahi Praninam Matihi. So he senses something is going to happen. This thing, after many years after Ramayana has happened, Valmiki is a Kavi, Adi Kavi, but he had made Ramayana in such a way that it can be enacted as a play. In the literature, we always eulogize Shakespeare to be a great playwright. The same concept Shakespeare borrows in his play Hamlet. So there are a lot of friends of Hamlet. Exact scenario Shakespeare brings. So Ramayana is a very living Granth, even though Shakespeare would not have known Ramayan, but the Kavis can think same. So Hamlet's friends come and tell to Hamlet that we are seeing your father's ghost somewhere there. Then Hamlet says, my father's spirit in arms, all is not well. I doubt some foul play. Same thing Dasaratha says, I am doubting something foul is going to happen here, Rama. That is why I am going to quickly crown you as the crown prince. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Shakespeare. Valmiki says in a different way, in a Kavitva fashion, he says, Chalahi Praninam Matihi. So that's where we are. So once he said, he was fearing. Why Dasaratha fears? Because Valmiki, even though he tries to portray this Kavya Rama to be the Paramapurusha, but his aim is to showcase Rama as Manush, Uttama Manush. So, Uttama Manush ka father bhi to Uttama Manush hi hai. So, he is also Manush. So, Dasaratha feels something is going to happen beyond his control. So, he says, I am going to ask you to crown. So, get ready. And then he sends Rama to his Antapura. Sandishya Ramam Nripatihi Swabhavinya Vishechane Purohitam Samahuya Vasittam Idam Abravit. We will try to see 3 sarga and we are going to place the twist. So Ramayan begins actually in the Ayodhya Kanda 7th sarga. That's where the twist, without Mantara, without Kuni, without Kubja, there is no Ramayan. So we will look into how Vyakhyana Kartas, different Vyakhyana Kartas. The famous authenticated commentary for Ramayan is by Govindaraja in Sanskrit, which is known as Bhushana Vyakhyana. And then there are other contemporary Vyakhyana Kartas like Siromani Tika, or Tilak ka Vyakhyana, or Kataka Vyakhyana. We will see all how they are going to place Mantara. Without Mantara or without Kubja or without Kuni, there is no Ramayan. So we will try to cover up to this. And actually, Ramayan begins in Ayodhya Kanda. The play, the twist begins in Ayodhya Kanda in the 7th Sarga. So, Sandishya Ramam Nripatihi Swabhavinya Abhishechane Purohitam Samahuya Vasittam Idam Abravit. But Valmiki, in these 3 sargas, is portraying himself to be a great Kavi and a playwright. So he captures the mood what is happening in Ayodhya. 2 sargas, he is capturing the mood and what are all things happening in a way as a Kavi does. Beautiful phrases, beautiful similes he gives in 2 sargas, and then he introduces mantra in a very dramatic form. So we'll try to finish. Gaccha upavasam kakutsam karaya adhya tapodana Sri Yasho Rajya Labhaya Vadvasahayat Vratam. So Dasaratha calls Vasishta, and then he says, Hey Muni, Hey Bhagavan. He says, Hey Bhagavan, you please go to Rama. Gaccha upavasam kakutsam karaya adhya tapodana. Ye tapodana, you go to Rama and make sure Rama along with his BB. Vadvasaha yat vratam. Whatever vratam he has to do, please make sure he does, because before getting anything so important, Srihi Yashaha Rajya Labhaya, one has to be prepared to receive it. So that's where the beginning starts. Tate ticha Rajan Muktvaha Veda Vidambaraha Swayam Vasishto Bhagavan Yayau Rama Niveshanam. So Valmiki says Vasishta is Bhagavan, Vasishta is Muni, Vasishta is Mahamuni. So Tateti, after Dasaratha says to Vasishta, you please, Ye Bhagavan, Ye Veda Vidambaraha, you please go to Rama and make sure Rama and Sita does the vratam. Beautifully, this factor has been captured by Bhojaraja in his Champu. So why Valmiki calls Vasishta to be Muni? Bhojaraja captures, because Vasishta knew, Muni means Mananashilaha iti Muni. So Vasishta was contemplating, when Dasaratha was saying that, Ye Muni, go to Rama, Vasishta was contemplating that I have been asked to initiate the process towards Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam, but I know it is what is going to happen. Rama is going to fulfill the Deva Karyam. So, without knowing what it is, Valmiki's words come as Veda Vidambaraha, Ye Bhagavan, Ye Muni, because he was contemplating, even though for the world this thing is going to happen, but I know that this Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam is not going to happen, but a better big thing is going to happen. So that is the thing which has been captured by Bhoja Champu. Kalidasa and Bhoja wrote together the Champu Ramayan. They say, why Valmiki called Vasishta here Bhagavan and Muni? Because Vasishta knew what is it going to happen, but he is not going to tell this to the world. He is not going to declare it overtly, because it is a Deva Rahasyam. So we'll talk about all this. So Upavasa Yitum Ramam Mantram Mantravat Kovidaha Brahmam Ratavaram Yuktam Astaya Sudruvrataha. So Dasaratha sends him in a very beautiful chariot, Brahmam Ratavaram Yuktam. Whatever the Ratha he has to, so he goes into Ratha. So the art of living. So what happens? How to receive the Atiti? So these 2 sargas are epitome of Kavya, 2 sargas. So what he says, so this Vasishta goes, because Vasishta knows, even though this Raja is pushing me to start this Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam tomorrow, which is going to be the Pushya Nakshatra, it's not going to happen. But I am going to wish Rama that he is going to fulfill the Deva Karyam. So, what is the Deva Karyam? That we will also see. Sa Rama Bhavanam Prapya Panduhu Abragana Prabham Tisra Kakshyaste Naiva Vivesha Munisattama. Watch every sloka, he says Veda Vidambaraha Bhagavani Munisattamaha Muni, because Valmiki says only Vasishta knows. Even Rama doesn't know. Only Vasishta knows what is it going to happen. This thing is not going to happen tomorrow. A better and big thing is going to happen. So he approaches Rama Bhavanam. How was Rama Bhavanam? I told you. These 2 sargas are, Valmiki very rarely uses his pen as a kavi, pen as a poet, whereas in every slokam, Kalidasa showcases himself to be a poet. Whereas these 2 sargas in Ayodhya Kanda, first 4 sargas are about Dharma. These 2 sargas, 5th and 6th sarga, are about Kavi Prasam. How should a Kavi write the poem? So he indicates the innate thinking of Vasishta by naming himself as Muni, Munivaraha, Veda Virambaraha. Then he captures only two sargas. Valmiki has luxury to talk about joy. Then the joy is going to vanish until Yuddhaganda. from now. So only 2 sargas Valmiki has the liberty to express as a Vasanta Kavi, express as a cheerful Kavi. So he does not miss a single word or a single sloka. He gives that kind of Varnana to Rama Bhavanam, to how Rama and Sita were there, how the Ayodhya, whether it is in the Ayodhya city or in the Ayodhya village, how people were there. So 2 beautiful sargas will go on the 5th gear. So how was Rama? Rama's house was all in white color. Panduhu Abragana Prabham. Abra means sky, Pandu means white. It's crystal clear white sky, as if it was like a crystal clear white sky, because it reflects the manas of Rama. It reflects the manas of Ayodhya Vasin. So it is Panduhu Abragana Prabham Tisra Kakshya. So Rama was in the third section of the palace, big palace. So first section, second section, third section. So in all the 3 sections, they let Vasishtha go. Tisra Kakshya Ste Naiva Vivesha Munisattama Tam Agatam Rishim Ramastvam and Sambrama. Rama came with anxiety. Sasambrama. Manayishyan Samanargam Nichakrama Niveshanat. Manayishyan Manargam. Respectful Vasishtha was received with such great respect, as if Rama came running to receive him. And then the beautiful thing he says, Abhyetyatvaranam manascha ratabhyam sham manishina tato avataraya masa parigrihya. So this is beautiful. So Rama sees Vasishtha coming, then he gives hand to Vasishtha and then gets him down. Tataha afterwards, avataraya masa parigrihya rata swayam. So parigrihya, when Vasishtha was getting down from the chariot, Rama gives his hand so that Vasishtha was comfortable getting down. Sachainam prasritam drishtva sabhashyam abhiprasadya cha priyarhyam ashtayan ramam ityuvacha purohita. Rama was very obedient. Prasritam ramam drishtva. He was very obedient. And then Priyarhyam, so he was very, very lovable guy. How was Rama? Tomorrow he is going to be crowned as Yuvaraja, but still he was very obedient, humble. Sachainam prasritam sam ramam drishtva Priyarhyam. He was so lovable. Then Vasishtha says this. So then Vasishtha, then what did Rama do? Rama asks Sita to bring water in a golden pot, and then Rama washes the feet of Vasishtha Muni. There Vasishtha tells to Rama, hey Rama, beautifully Adhyatma Ramayanam says, Valmiki doesn't say, but Adhyatma Ramayanam says, we'll see that. Sri Ramenaiva muktastu praharsan munivar abravit tvatpada salilam dritva dhanyo abhutu girijapatihi brahmapi mappita tehi pada tirtha hatha ashubha idanim bhashase yatvam lokanam upadeshakriti janami tvam paramatmanam lakshmya sanjatam ishwaram tatapi devakaryartam. This is where actually the twist Ramayana begins. Tatapi devakaryartam guhyam nodyatayamyam. So it is devakarya. Rama, why are you washing my feet? He says this, look, Tvatpada salilam dritva, you should not wash my feet, because my father washed your feet and he weighed him off with lot of papas. All the papas of Brahma got evaded because he washed your feet. Then that water that was washed by Brahma fell on Shiva's head, and that became Ganga. So he says, Tvatpada salilam dritva dhanyo abhutu girijapatihi. Okay. Brahmapi matpita tehi pada tirtha athaha shubha. Beautiful. So I wanted to bring all that as much as I can. This is from Adhyatma Ramayana. Adhyatma Ramayan's purpose is to portray Rama to be Parabrahma, whereas Valmiki's aim was not that. Then he says, Idanim bhashashe yatvam lokanam upadesha kriti janami tvam paramatman. Vasishtha says, hey Rama, I know you are Paramatman, but I am not going to declare why and what was the reason tomorrow this Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam is not going to happen, because that will spoil the Devakaryam. What was the Devakaryam? The Devakaryam was to kill Ravana. That is the reason Mantara was sent to the world. We'll see what Mantara is. Kuni. Janamitvam paramatmanam lakshmya sanjatam Ishwaram tathapi devakaryartam guhyam noddatayamyam. So that is the reason, if I declare, if I tell Rama, you don't wash my feet, people will know that why Rama is not washing the feet of Vasishtha, because Vasishtha is the son of Brahma. So something is there, he is not telling. So I'm not going to do, so you do this. So that's how it is. So then Vasishtha says, okay, I'm going to do the Raksha Bandhan. Ityuktva sa tada Rama upavasam yatvritam mantravrat karyamasa vaidehya sahitam muni. Look, everywhere Valmiki uses the word muni because he knew, Vasishtha knows Rama is not an ordinary man. Vasishtha knows that tomorrow's event is going to bring a big twist to Ramayan, and he is going to fulfill the Devakarya. Then Vasishtha leaves, but then Valmiki brings some kind of lighter sense here. Valmiki says, once Vasishtha left, Rama was surrounded by a lot of his friends. Suhudbihi tatra ramopi sahasinam priyam vadai. So every friends came and then they all sat. Suhudbihi tatra ramopi sahasina priyam vadai sabajito viveshat tan anugyapya sarvashah sabadijaha. Sabadija means congratulate. All the friends came and hugged Rama, because to them Rama is their friend and they don't know the Devakarya. Vasishtha came and he did the Raksha Bandhan, so everything is going to be all right. Tomorrow my friend is going to be Yuvaraja. So they all gave congratulations. Sabajito means congratulations. Sa Raja Bhavanam prakyat tasmat Rama niveshanat nirgatya dadrusho margam vasishto jana samvritam. So when this Raksha Bandhan began, poor people, they didn't know what is going to happen. Everybody started doing merry. So the Valmiki says a beautiful thing. So Vasishtha has to find way, because by that time all the people have gathered in the streets. That was the evening prior to Pushya Nakshatra. That is the evening on the Punarvasu Nakshatra. I'm going to go rush here because so many things to cover. So what happens on the Punarvasu day evening, this is happening. Okay, somewhere in the afternoon, Aparanna Kalme, this is happening. So in the afternoon, Vasishtha comes and starts doing the Raksha Bandhan. Then he wants to go to Dasaratha and tell that I have done your duty. But Vasishtha was finding it very difficult to maneuver through the roads. Brinda Brindai Ayodhya Yam Raja Margam Samantataha. Brinda. Groups and groups of people have started coming. Brinda Brindaihi Ayodhyayam Raja Marga Samantataha Babu Abhisambhada Kutuhala Janai Vritaha. Abhisambhada means congested. So many people have come on the Raja Marga because, when Vasishtha started things, it is going to happen. So even though they all liked Dasaratha, they were longing as if, when will this night go? When will the night of this Punarvasu Nakshatra go? I can't wait to see Rama crowned. So people started crowding. When people started crowding like Brinda, like bees, swarm of bees, they were cursing the night. Hey, night, go away. And then they all started cleaning the streets. Valmiki makes it that way. Millie does all this, no? Like when you have some Sambrama here, they all come and starts doing this. So Valmiki writes this. Sikta samrishtaratyahi tadahar vanamalini asid ayodhya nagari samuchitra grihadvaja sikta samrishtaratyaha. Ratya means street. The streets have all started to be cleaned with water, and they all started placing lot of plants, lot of trees, lot of thoran. They all started doing in the evening itself. Tadahar vanamalini. So vanamalini means all plants, beautiful bouquet and everything they started putting on the street. Tadahi ayodhya nilayaha sastri bala abala janaha. See, everywhere, whether they are good people, weak people, strong people, bala abala janaha, old people, young people, everybody started participating. Rama abhisheka kanksha. All were eagerly looking for Rama abhishekam. Then they say, Udayam Ravehe, when will the sun come? Here, sun, come quickly. Prajalankara bhutam cha janasya nandavardhanam utsuko abhujano drashtum tamayodhyam aho mahotsavam utsuk. Everybody were in utsak mood. Everybody started doing their own part. So they all started putting rangol. That's what he says. Evam tam jana sambadam rajamargam purohita vyuhan niva janaugam tam shanaihi rajakulam shanaihi. These things were happening. They didn't even let Vasishtha go. Shanaihi. So the Rath, Shanai means slow down. So Vasishtha was always stopped. Vasishtha was stopped at every place because people were in there merry. Then what happens? So how? Then Vasishtha has to go and tell to his king that I have done my duty, so you prepare everything and be ready for tomorrow. But people let him not go. So then he says, Sitabra shikara prakyam prasadam adiruhyasa samiyaya narendrena shakrena brihaspati tam agatam abhiprekshya hitva rajasanam nrupuh prapachasa tasmai tat kritam ityabhyavedayat tat kritam. Hey Rajan, so how was it? Even Dasaratha's palace was as if the palace was so high that it was touching the abra shikari. It was like so much ornamented in white things, because white is the symbol of good and peace. So peace is going to happen. So Sita abra shikara prakyam prasadam. Prasadam means balcony. Prasadam adiruhyasaha samiyaya narendrena shakrena brihaspati. So as if Vasishtha was entering what is this, Indra's palace, as if Dasaratha is compared to Indra and Vasishtha is compared to Brihaspati. Then he says, Ye Rajan, tat kritam, what you said, I have done. Tat kritam it abhyavedayet. So that's what. Then Valmiki describes how people were. People were all dressed in top-notch dress. Tam agraveshma pramada jana kulam. Agravesh, top-notch dress, fashionable dress. Mahendra Veshma Pratimam Niveshanam Vidipayan Charuhu Vivesha Parthivaha Shashivatara Ganasankulam Nabaha. So the palace was as if on a clear crystal new moon day, Nabha, the sky, shining with Shashiva, shining with moon surrounded by Taragana. So the palace was Vidipaya, the palace was shining in such a way that in a clear full moon day, the sky is shining with full moon surrounded by Sashiva Taragana Sankulam Nabaha. Beautifully he says. So this sarga, this shows the heart of Valmiki, because this is the only time Valmiki and we can enjoy the beauty. Afterwards everything is gone until Rama goes for a short time in Chitrakoot. Only in Chitrakoot they were happy, and sometime they were happy in Panchavati too, but there's not much description on Panchavati because we are eagerly seeing what is it going to happen, because we knew the story. So only these two slokas. Then Vasishtha has done the Raksha Bandhan, then he says, you go and pray your Ishta Devata. So the next chapter begins when Vasishtha goes to Dasaratha and says that, Hey Rajan, I have done my duty and I have asked Rama to do Upavasa. Prior to doing Upavasa, I have asked him, instructed him to pray the Supreme Lord, which is very important today. What an auspicious coincidence. Gate Purohite Ramaha Snato Niyatamanasa. Evening. So this happened, all these things happened in Aparanna Kala. Evening came after Sandhya. He started doing his penance. Before doing his penance, Gate Purohite Rama Snato, he took bath again. Niyatamanasa, what it should be done. Sahapatnya Visalakshya Narayanam Upagamatu. Beautiful phrase. So this is where we know who is the Kuladevata for Rama. Who is the Kuladevata for Rama? Is Narayana. That Narayana is now residing in Srirangam. Because this Narayana, what Rama and his forefathers prayed, was gifted to Vibhishana. So Vibhishana was taking that Ranganatha to Sri Lanka, but it was so, the destiny is that we had to do Sandhyavandan, so he kept that Ranganatha in between Ubaya Kaveri Madhya, in the island between Kaveri, and that Ranganatha got stuck there. So that is beautiful. Valmiki, there is a reference in Valmiki Ramayana that what is the Kuladevata, what is the Kuladevata for Rama, and what is the Kuladevata for Krishna. Kuladevata for Krishna is also Narayana, and that Narayana is presently residing in Melakot, in Trinarayanapuram, in near Mysore. So there is also a reference. Gate Purohite Ramaha Snato Niyatamanasa Sahapatnya Visalakshya. Sita's name is Visalakshi. Why Visalakshi? Beautiful Varnan here. So Sita did not pray Ranganatha. She was looking at Rama's beauty and Rama's way when he was praying Ranganatha. So she never kept her eyes on Ranganatha. Rather, she kept her eyes on Rama. So by looking at Rama, how he is praying that evening, her eyes got broaden and broaden and broaden. So that is called Visalaksha. Beautiful Varnan. Vyakhyana here. Saha Patnya Visalakshya. Why Valmiki mentions Sita to be Visalakshi? Normally, Visalakshi means it is reference to Shiva's wife, Parvati. No. But there is a reference saying that Visalakshi is based on the root. So Sita was looking at the beauty. Sita was looking at the beauty of Rama while he was praying by looking at his Mriga Darshana. His small eyes of Sita broadened and broadened and broadened, and she became Visalakshi. Saha Patnya Visalakshya Narayanam Upagamati Narayanam Naranam Ayanaha Yasya Saha Narayanaha. So Narayan means it is Param Brahma, Param Purusha, Naranam Ayanaha, the abode, the residing place for all Jivatma. One that is the residing place, abode for all Jivatma is Narayana. So even Adi Shankara, who was a proponent of Advaita, agrees and accepts that Narayana is Param Brahma. Naranam Ayanaha Yasya Saha iti Narayanaha. Okay. Then how is this Narayana? Beautiful Purana sloka. Kaveri virajaseyam vaikuntam rangamandiram savasudevo range saha pratyaksham paramam padam vimanam pranavakaram Vedashringam Mahadbhutam Sri Rangasai Bhagavane Pranavartha Prakashaha. Beautiful slogan. Who is this Ranganatha? He is Paramatman. Kaveri Virajaseyam. That Kaveri is nothing but Viraja in Vaikunta. Viraja is the river in Vaikunta. Vaikuntam, that Sri Ranga is nothing but Vaikuntam. Vaikuntam Ranga Mandiram Sa Vasudevo. The one that is residing in Vaikunta is nothing but Ranganatha. Sa Vasudevo Range Saha Pratyaksham. He is in this Kali Yuga Pratyaksha Vaikunta Natha. And that is the reason Vaikunta Ekadesi, the Sukla Pakshi Ekadesi in Margasirsh Marsha is known as Vaikunta Ekadesi or Mukkota Ekadesi, and the one sthala where it is most important is Srirangam. Pratyaksham Paramam Padam Vimanam Pranavakaram. The Vimana of Sriranga is Pranavakaram. Veda Shringam Mahadbhutam. That place is nothing but embodiment of Veda. Sri Rangasai Bhagavane Pranavartha Prakasaka. Beautiful. So he was praying. How good it is. Kaveri Virajaseyam Vaikuntam Rangamandiram Savasudevo Rangeshaha Pratyaksham Paramam Padam Vimanam Pranavakaram Veda Sringam Mahadbhutam Sri Rangasai Bhagavan Pratya Pranavartha Prakashakaha. So he started praying, and by looking at this, Sita's eye became big, bright. Pragrihya Shirasha Patram Havisho Vidivattada Mahate Daivata Yajyam Juha Jwalati Analaha. So he offered clarified butter. While praying, he also did ahuti to Agni. Shesham cha avishastasya prashya asyatmanah priyam dhyayan narayanam devam swastirna kushasamstare. After he prayed Narayana, but again and again Valmiki emphasizes this Narayana, who is nothing but Paramatma, is the Kula Devata for this Ichwaku Kula. Then what he did? He went and slept in Kushasamstare, in the grass, Darbha grass. Then what was the thing he should do? He should not talk. Okay? He and Sita should not talk. They should be pious. Then they should sleep in the shrine of Vishnu. That he says. Vagyataha. Be conservative in talking. So Upavas, Mauna Vrata. Vagyata saha Vaideshya bhutva niyatamasana Srimatyayatane Vishnu. Ayatana means temple. Srimatyayatane Vishnu Ayatanam. In the abode of Vishnu, sleep in Darbhasana, don't talk, be pious. Okay. Srimatyayatane Vishnu Shishya. Shishya means sleep. Naravaratmaja. So he slept that night for only few hours.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, for interruption. When you said Vibhishan was taking
the Ranganatha.
so when was Vibhishan taking it?
After, see, yeah, in Yuddhakanda, Rama gives gifts. So he gives gifts to different. So far, what is the gift given to Hanuman? Parishvata. So he only gives the Alinganam, good Alinganam for Hanuman. And then he gives Angada, some pearls and jewels. But Vibhishana asks that I need your Kula Devata. So he gives it. Right? So, because that, prior to that, there was a Chola kingdom, Chola king called Dharmavarma, who was very close to Dasaratha. He had an eye on this Ranganatha, so he has been basically begging Dasaratha to give that Ranganatha, but Dasaratha did not give. But that Chola king was so devoted to Ranganatha, so he was praying, so I need you to come to the southern, because why? Both Rama and Krishna were born in the northern land. So Vibhav mein, in Avatar mein, they were able to see the Pratyaksha Devam. Whereas in South India, there is no Pratyaksha Devam. So he was Dharmavarma. That king was called Dharmavarma. So he was very close to Dasaratha, Nichwaku kingdom. So he was asking, so you at least give your Kuladevata, because Dasaratha did not want to part. But this Sankalpa was, Ranganatha was such that when Vibhishana comes and helps, why Vibhishana? Because Vibhishana showed to the world that if you pray refuge at the feet of Rama or at the feet of Supreme, your wants will be fulfilled. So then he gives. That comes in Yuddhakanda. Okay. So, okay. Ekayamam avishtayam ratriyam prativibuddhaya saha. So Rama was sleeping until 3 o'clock in the morning. 1 yama. What is 8 yama makes 24 hours. So prior to the dawn or prior to the sunrise, 3 hours before, 1 yamam before, Rama got up. That also Valmiki documents. 1 yama means 3 hours. So prior to Ravi, prior to sun coming, or prior to the end of Ratri, 1 yaman. That means about sun comes at 6 o'clock. So it is at 3 o'clock. 4 to 6 is Brahma Muhurta. So he got up 1 hour before Brahma Muhurta so that he does all the puja in Brahma Muhurta. Eka yamam avishtayam, left over. The Ratri was left with only 1 yamam. That means at 3 o'clock Rama got up. Eka yamam avishtayam ratriyam avishtayam. We should do it like that. Ratriyam avishtayam prati vibuddhaya saha Ramaha prati vibuddhaya. Vibuddhaya means prabodhana. Got up. Alankara vidim krishnam karayamasa ve. He started cleaning the house. Alankara vidim krishnam. Krishna means entire house. Karayamasa veshmanaha tataf paurajanas sarvam shrutva Rama abhishechanam prabhatam rajanim drishtva chakre shobhayitim purim. When they saw Rama's bhavan got lit up, tataha, afterwards paurajana, the city people, sarvaha shrutva Rama abhishechanam prabhatam rajanim drishtva chakre shobhayitim purim. Beautiful. Sita abra shikarabeshu devata ayataneshu cha tashu chadushpadeshu radyashu chaishteshu attal. If somebody wants to know how to name the rooms of house in Sanskrit, this is the 3 slokas you should know. What is the name for boundary? What is the name for wall? What is the name for temple? The Griha temple, na puja griha. Ayatanam. Sita abra shikarabeshu deva ayataneshu cha chatushpateshu, the 4 corner roads. Chatushpateshu ratyashu main marga. Chaityeshu attalakeshu cha. Nana panya samudreshu vanija amapaneshu cha. Amapanam means store. So Nana Panya, grocery store. What is the name of grocery store in Sanskrit? Nana Panyam. Nana Panyam means the retail store, like Walmart. Nana Panya Samudreshu Vanija Apaneshu cha Kutimbinan Samudreshu Srimatsu Bhavaneshu cha. The place of palace for rich people, like Dr. Arunkumar. Srimatsu Bhavaneshu cha Kutimbinam, like me. Common, ordinary, average. Kutumbinan Samudreshu. Valmiki writes like that, not me. Kutumbinan Samudreshu Srimatsu Bhavaneshu cha Sabashu cha Sarvasu Vriksheshu Alakshiteshu cha. And then everybody started planting these Toran, Vriksheshu. Visible trees were planted, were uprooted and planted. Alakshiteshu, that means visible trees. You know that Asoka tree and all, we keep it now. These beautiful 3 slokas. Dvajaha samurchitas chitraha patakascha abhavanstada. Beautiful. They kept banners, chitrapata. Chitraha patakascha dvajaha samutsrichaha abhavanu tada. Beautiful. How to decorate. Though they didn't leave anything. They decorated everything. Four corner road, Rateshu, Chetyeshu, Attalakeshu. Attalakeshu means big boundary walls. The walls, the walls of the forts. Attalakeshu cha nanapanya samudreshu vanijam apaneshu cha. Apanam means store. Nanapanya apanam means multi stores, whatever it is. Okay, then people started dancing beautiful. Nata nartana sanganam gayakanam cha gayatam manakarna sukha. Then beautiful words. So people were so happy. They were so happy. Whatever the people could hear, it is all so beautiful. Music to hear. Whatever they were thinking is all Shuddha, pristine. That Valmiki documents. I told you only these two sargas, Valmiki poured his heart as a kavi. Manaha karna sukha vachaha. See, they did not use only flowery words. It went and pierced the heart of people. So even the manas became, because the episode starts, what is praninam manaha chalanaha. So Dasaratha says people have a fickery mind. But he says this news about Rama becoming the Raja in due course made them not only music to their ears, but their hearts were all melted. Manaha karna sukha vachaha shushruscha tatastata. Tatastata means everywhere. There and there, people were all rejoicing because their minds were melted. They only heard good news. Manah karna sukha vachaha shushruscha tatastata. Tatastata, beautiful word. There and there means everywhere. Rama Abhisheka Yuktascha Katas Chakru Mitojana. Mitojana, whenever they met, I saw Ranjani, I said, oh, tomorrow is Rama's Abhishekam. Are you coming? So Mitojanaha Kataha Katayan. So mutually, whenever they talked, all they talked, because that night, the morning began. So Rama Abhisheka Yuktascha Katas Chakruhu Mitojana. Katas Chakru, that's what they spoke. Rama Abhisheka Samprapte Chatvareshu Griheshu. Whether it is in the street corner in the morning or in the houses, all they talked was this. Even kids, Valmiki was beautiful as a kavi. Even when the kids started playing in the morning, their parents let them do what they want. When they were playing, they said, hey, Rama's coronation is today. Bala api kridamana grihadvareshu sangasha. Beautiful. So the child started playing in the front of the house, in the road. Grihadvareshu sangasha bala api kridamana. All they were doing is Rama abhishasvam samyuktaha chakruhu evam Rama abhisheka vartaha evam mito janaha. They were talking like that. Okay, so everything was happening like this. So then what was it? So the sarga finishes. Again this Ayodhya was like Indrapuri. Tatastad indrakshya sannibham puram didrukshubihi janapadaihi upagataihi samantataha svanama kulam babau. Akulam babau. The Ayodhya was all disturbed with words. What words were they? The words were Manaha Karna Sukha Vachaha. What were the words that disturbed Ayodhya? That disturbed Ayodhya was all the word, the thinking about Rama. How was this? This is a beautiful simile Valmiki gives. As if the ocean is filled with she cells, as if the ocean is filled with she urchins, as if the ocean is filled with all she animals. The entire Ayodhya, assuming that it is a great ocean, has been filled with human population. Samudrayadopi iva arna odakam. Samudrayadopi means those things that are born in Samudra Udayaha. What are those things that are born in ocean? If the ocean is full of pearls and pavala and pearls of sea urchins, pearl of conchas, Samudra Udayadopi arna iva udakaha. The Ayodhya is so full of people, as if the ocean was full, plenty of those that come from the ocean. Beautiful. So these are the two places like Kavi. Then comes the twist. All these were happening. So there are two sargas in Balakanta, which is the important sarga. 18th. What is 18th sarga? Is Rama Avataram. 18th is what? 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 is Purna number. Here you see, Ramayan begins with the twist, with the appearance of Mantara. So, Valmiki, you cannot even, you have to read Ramayan like this. So why he could have kept this Mantara story in 2.5 or 2.6? He keeps it in 2.7. 2 plus 7 is 9, that is Purnatvam. So Rama is Purnatvam. Without Mantara, you cannot establish Rama to be a Purna Purusha, because he is going to quell the demons. And the root cause for that is Mantara's kopa. Right? So the Pravesha, this is where out of nowhere, dramatically, Valmiki introduces Mantara in Ayodhya Kanda. Second Ayodhya Kanda is number 2, and the Adhyaya is 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. Balakanta is 1, and then 18th Sarga, 1 plus 8 is 9. So Rama Avatara is 18th Sarga in Balakanta. Kuni's presence, Kuni's appearance is in the 7th Sarga of Ayodhya Kanta, 2 plus 7. How Mantara comes? Who is Mantara? So we have to take, this is very dramatic twist. Who is Mantara? Beautifully, this is how the playwright starts. I will recite the sloka and then dwell few minutes, next 10 minutes, before we call it a day, about where all this Mantara and how Vyakhyana Kartas, Bhushana Vyakhyana. We don't have time in Navaha, we don't have time to talk about all the Vyakhyana. Why was Mantara come? Who is she? What is her importance in Ramayana? You have to take into account 3 Vyakhyana. The important Vyakhyana for Ramayana is Govinda Rajiyam. It is known as Bhushana Vyakhyana. We'll read the Panti of Bhushana Vyakhyana, Sanskritam, but I'll explain. The second one is the Tika. The Tika for Govinda Rajiyam is known as Shiromani Tika. That's where we know about Mantara. And then the other one is Kataka Vyakhyana. And then Tamil Kaman. Then why did Mantara get this kopa? What was the rhyme or reason? Valmiki never says. But in only Tamil Kavya, Kamban says why Mantara had to do this silly act. And Alvars, Tamil Bhakti poets, and Kamban explicitly gives their own take why Mantara had to do this nasty business. Mane noki madavalai marvil paindai madava. Kune sidaya undai vil niratil terittai Govinda. I'll translate. When Rama was a young boy, Valmiki never mentions. Why did Mantara do this? Kune sidaya undai vil. So Rama used some clay balls and hit Mantara, the hunchback, when he was a young boy, before marriage. Right? So Mantara came along with Kaikeyi. He was a housemaid for Kaikeyi. So Rama used to play in Kaikeyi's garden. So Rama used to hit the Kuni hunchback with clay ball. So Kuni could not say anything because he was a prince. So she kept that grudge. Valmiki never says that. Playful act. 2 things Valmiki Ramayana says. Why? Rama is a Manushya, so he has to repent for his bad deeds. He did it. That we will talk about it. In Ayodhya Kanta, he asks a Brahmin to go and show his strength to donate the cows. So that's why Sugriva tested him 2 times, Dundubi and then Saptasala Vriksha. We'll talk about it. And the other one, why Kuni had to do this act? It is because Rama played a mischief. That Valmiki never says, but other Kavya says. Now, what is Kuni? Kuni's beginning comes. Beautiful sloka. Nyati dhasi yato jata kaike yatsu sahoshita. Prasadam Chandra Shankasam Aruro. There is no mention of Kuni before, or Mantara, or Kubja. Kubja mane Kuni in Tamil. We'll see that. So, Yadrichaya. There came all of a sudden a lady. Kubja. Beautiful. That's how the dramatic things comes. So, Valmiki is introducing Kubja, Mantara in a dramatic frame. No mention about Kubja, because that 24 years, Kubja was there. We didn't hear the word about Mantara or Kubja, because what Rama married 14 plus 12. So 26 years, this lady was there. Prior to that, when Kaikeyi wedded Dasaratha and came, she came along with Kaikeyi. So Kuni and Kubja has been there forever, but there is no mention until now. So Yadrichaya, out of a sudden. Nyati dasi yato jata kaike yatsu sahoshita. Prasadam Chantra Shankasam Aruroha Yadurch. Then there came a lady who was climbing the balcony of Kaikeyi's palace, Prasadam balcony. Chandra Shankasam lit. That balcony was lit by the light of Chandra. Yajitya, all of a sudden, this Kuni, this Kubja came and climbed the balcony of Kaikeyi's palace. Who is she? Nyati Dasi. She is the Dasi of relative of Kaikeyi. Why Valmiki puts this? This should be labored. We'll see. Nyasi Dasi, because Kaikeyi was such a pious lady. And Kaikeyi's family, Kaikeyi Raja, was so close to Dasaratha. That is the reason when Bharata went to Yujadit, the uncle of Bharata, Shatrughna also went and lived with him for 12 years. Imagine. There's no relation for Shatrughna with Yujadit. So the Kaikeyi Rajyam was so good, so good. So the Valmiki portrays that nobody in even Kaikeyi Raja had this kind of a bad mindset. So they don't even want to tell that this Kuni, this Mantara belonged to Kaikeyi Raja. So what he says is Nyati Dasi. So she is a relative, she is a Dasi of relative of Kaikeyi. I hope you understand. This is a beautiful. So Nyati Dasi, she didn't say that she is Kaikeyi Dasi. She didn't say this is Kaikeyi Raja Dasi. She didn't say somebody's relative. So there are different connotations to it. We will see. Nyasi Dasi Yato Jata. Yato Jata. We don't know where she was born. See how they portray, because they don't even want to taint Kaikeyi to be a bad woman. Nyati Dasi Yato Jata. We don't know where she was born. Yato, somewhere she was born. All of a sudden she came wandering to Kaikeyi Desha. Kaikeyatsu, then she came. Saha Ushita, beautiful. Ushita means chipkali jaisa chipna. Sanskrit mein Ushita mane chipna. So, somewhere she was born, she is related to somebody. All of a sudden she came to Kaikeyi Desha and she started chipkali jaisa buttering up to Kaikeyi. Beautiful, isn't it? So, Jnati Dasi Yato Jata Kaikeyatsu Sahoshita. Saha Ushita. She got attached to Kaikeyi, that's all. That lady, Prasadam Chantra Shankasham Aruroha Yadruchaya. Dit Yadruchaya, you should take it before and now. Yadruchaya. Jnati Dasi Yato Jata Yadruchaya Kaikeyatsu Sahoshita. That Yadruchaya you bring. All of a sudden she came from nowhere, got attached to Kaikeyi. Bring that Yadrushya before. Then, all of a sudden, on that day, on that evening, on that night, on that Punarvasu Nakshatra, the day prior to Pushya, she just started climbing on the balcony of Kaikeyi's palace. How dramatically Valmiki introduces. Why did this Mantara come? Who is this Mantara? So, there are three Vyakyanas we will say. The first one is the Govindarajiyam. Why is so? Valmiki and Ramayan is such a Shuddha Kavya. They don't even want to portray Kaikeyi to be bad. In other words, they don't even want to portray Ravana. But it was Ravana was cursed that he had to be killed by a Manushya Rama. They don't even want to portray Mantara to be evil because that Kavya is itself Shuddha Kavya. So the Vyakyana Karta's labor to portray even this Mantara is good. Then this Shiromani Tika, that Grantakarta for Shiromani Tika says, this Mantara was nothing but a lady called Vedavati in the previous birth, and she was a divine lady, nymph, and all the Devatas want to find a reason to quell Ravana, so they sent this Vedavati in the next month to be Mantara, hunchback, one. Right? And then he says, Jnati Dasi. Then they say this, normally people equate that she is a Dasi to the side of Kaikeyi's mother. So Kaikeyi's mother before marriage is not part of Kaikeyi Desa. So she is from some other Desa. But this Tikakar, this Shiromani Tikakar says, no, this Mantara is somewhere also related to, in a way, to Sita, because this Mantara, this Kubja, was a servant maid to Kushadwaja's wife. Who is Kushadwaja? Kushadwaja is Mandavi and Sutakirti, Bharata's wife's mother's Dasi. So everybody labor. Although Valmiki never expressed, beautiful, that's what it is. This itself, you see how important this is. You have to read Ramayana like this. So one thing is, why this Mantara's character is there? Because that is Deva Rahasyam. Without Mantara, Rama would not go to forest. Without Rama going to forest, Ravana will not be killed. So, why did this Mantara come? This Mantara was given a name called Vedavati. She was a nymph, she was a Deva lady, and all Devatas made her to be hunchback and sent her to Nyati Dasi somewhere away from this Kaikeya Raja. Then she came and Chipkali Jaisa Chipak gayi. Okay, that is this Tikakar. And then there is also a reference in Padma Purana. Padma Purana also gives reference to this Mantara, saying that she is nothing but a divine lady. The Deva's Sankalpa was this lady should be the Sutrakar for Ramayan. So she came in the Krita Yuga as a Mantara and then got close to Kaikeyi. Then what does Govindarajyam says? Govindarajyam says without, that is the authoritative Vyakhyana for Ramayana. It says without Mantara, Ramayan will not happen. What is Ramayan? Ravana Vada evam Ramayan. So he says, Ataha Ravana Vada Ankangshibihi Devaihi Avishtaha Mantravakyati Rama Abhisheka Vigna Pratipadyate. This is how the first Vyakhyana in this Sarga 2.7, 7th Sarga. Why did Mantara come? Govindarajyam's Panti in Sanskritam. Atha, after this, Ravana Vada Kangshibihi Devaihi Avishta Devaihi Ravana Vada Kangshibihi. So the Devas were eagerly Akankshi, they were eagerly waiting for the Vada of Ravana. Devas sent this Mantara, and because of her Vakya, Atha Ravana Vada Akangshibihi Devaihi Avishta Mantra Vakyat. It is because of the words of Kuni, this Mantara, Rama Abhishekana Vignam. You see? So even Mantara is good. So it is because of the words of Mantara, Kaikeyi did not get convinced. It took long time, one Sarga in Valmiki Ramayan, to convince Kaikeyi. So she is nothing but a divine angel or a divine god sent by Devas for Ravana Vadartham. Okay. And she was made Kubja because to depict an evil character. Right? Hunchback, Ghora, like Surpanaka. Okay, so like that. Then a beautiful Sanskrit Vyakhyana Karta called Udali, prior to Govindarajyam. Govindarajyam is about 13th century, the authenticated Vyakhyana. Like Vyakhyana for Ramayana is Govindarajyam. Prior to 13th century, there was a Vyakhyana Karta in Sanskrit called Udali. And this Udali's Vyakyanam became famous because the Mathura temple had a copy of palm leaf of this Udali Grantha. Nobody had it. So they maintained it in Mathura. Now it's printed somewhere here and there. Maybe Banaras Das Gupta printed it or not. So my father used to say that Udali was the first one to depict why this Kubja was born, what's a rhyme or reason for this Kubja to come. Then they say, Udali says she is Kubja. What do you expect of a Kubja? Kujata iti Kubja. Okay, not a good lady. Kujata iti Kubja. Then he say, Itastataha jataha iti Kubja. Ita means here. Tata means there. We don't know where he was born. Jata means Jayamana, means to birth. She was born somewhere. Oh God, don't ask me. Udali says, don't you understand Sanskrit? The Kubja itself says, Itaha tataha jata iti Kubja. Ita here. There. Somebody says she was born in, she was a Dasi to Kushatvada's wife. Somebody says she was Dasi to Kaikeyi's mother. She came and Chipgai. So don't worry. Name itself answers. So don't labor too much. She is not known anything about her. All of a sudden, Yadrichaya, she came and then got attached to Kaikeyi and started doing this drama because it is Deva Karyartham, which we already recited. Vasishta says, in Adhyatma Ramayana, I know the Deva Karyam, but there needs to be a tool to do that Deva Karyam, and that tool is Mantra, who is nothing but a Kubja. Why? Then you may ask, why Valmiki and others portray her to be Kubja? Kubja mane ku jataha iti Kubja, itaha tataha jataha iti Kubja. So they brought this picture, they brought this character. So beautiful. One should labor one class on this. Jnati dasi yato jata kaike yatsu saha ushita. Okay, this is an important sloka. So, Nyati Dasi, Yatho Jata, somewhere born, Kaikeya Saha Ushita. You have to understand and do the Anvayam. Prasadam Chantra Sankasham Aruroh Yadruchaya. She just climbed. And there is also one Vyakyanakarta says, don't take Kubja to be bad. Of course, we all know it is her anger that instigated Kaikeyi to change her mind. Don't think that she was angry because Rama's Pattabhisheha. Because Kaikeyi is so fondly attached to Rama, and this Kuni, Kubja, was a maid to Kaikeyi. So she wouldn't do anything that would hurt Kaikeyi. Because Kaikeyi was more affectionate to Rama than Sumitra or than Kausalya. Then what made this Kuni to be angry? People labor so much on this sloka. We'll stop with it. One Vyakyanakarta says, it is her ego that she was not told about Rama's Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam directly. She saw it on herself, and some other maid came and told, hey Kubja, hey Kuni, hey Mantara, do you know what is this thing that's happening here? Hey boy, that is because today Rama is going to be crowned. So she got anxious and she got angry and pricked because she didn't hear the news firsthand. She heard it through somebody, and that hurt her ego, and that's why she got angry. Innately she is good because she only thinks well for Kaikeyi, and if you have to think well for Kaikeyi, you have to think well for Rama. Beautifully, people labor and labor and labor. That is Ramayana. Pavamana sutudu patu padara vindamulaku ninama Rupamulaku Nitya Jaya Mangalam. Mangalam Kosalendraya Maganiya Gunabdaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta San Mangalani Santu.